to me, this is the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that we've gotten.
Can I even go crazier? To me, this might be the best Spider-Man movie
you're
I've
bugging.
ever seen.
I think you might be bugging on that.
I low-key... Okay, I just want to get into a couple things that I didn't like.
Uh-oh.
It's not that much.
Okay, yeah.
I'll say the rest of them are all just nitpicks, but there's one glaring one that I feel like was so close from making this movie perfect. In the sense of this, we go over this whole emotional thing of, oh, we gotta lose Ned and MJ. You're saying you want to be Spider-Man, you don't want to be around them.
Yeah.
But you're still kind of stalking and going to the parties and yada yada, which I understand is very human of a person, but it just doesn't have as much weight when you immediately bring them back in the second movie and then they're already, figuring everything out and knowing that you're Peter again.
Yeah.
The heavily anticipated Spider-Man Brand New Day just came out.
Oh, man.
This movie is insane. I just want to get into it. So we've seen that the movie takes place after No Way Home, and we pretty much get to see what Peter's been up to for the last year or so.
Not like 4 years or something like that.
It's been like 4?
Yeah, because think about it. MJ and Ned were in college the entire time. They went freshman year at the end of No Way Home.
Yeah.
And then they're coming back home from college.
So they're
in
done?
This one. So they're done with college. Yeah, they graduated.
Oh, I didn't even peep that,
So
actually.
they've been in school for at least 3-4 years, I'm assuming, or however long they were at MIT.
Okay, I really liked that element of just the opening of showing everything that Spider-Man's been up to. That was so comic book to me, where you see, you get to see Tombstone, you get to see Tarantula, you get to see Scorpion, you get to see a couple of his other villains.
Boomerang,
Boomerang.
Ramred, or whatever the guy's name is, Hammerhead, or I don't remember what his name is. Yeah.
The Hand,
the
you
Hand
get to
was
see him
up,
fight the Hand. Man, I really like that because this is one of the first Spider-Man movies, I think, in a while that feels like a Spider-Man movie, dude.
Yeah, no, definitely. It feels like this movie is so Spider-Man in every single element. Like in the beginning of the movie, there's a scene where the first call he gets to like those gangsters or those criminals that are on the roof.
Yeah.
And I'm like, this is straight up out of the video game. For
Seriously.
real. Like that's literally stuff that happens in the video game. They're just criminals on a rooftop and you just beat them up.
Yeah.
And the way he was beating up on them was like literally from the game.
It was so Insomniac. It was insane. No, and I actually heard that it's confirmed a lot of the move sets that he has in this is based off the game.
Yeah, because Tom Holland's a big fan of the games.
Yeah. That's so dope. See, this is what I mean when I say an actor who really loves the character that they're playing and has real passion for it. And you see it in this movie. So shout out to Tom Holland for taking this serious and doing everything that he did, because I've seen a lot of the behind the scenes things that he had to do for this movie. It's so insane. But dude, I just want to get into some of the things that I really enjoyed about just some of the elements I liked about this movie. I really liked the factor of they went into the idea of Spider-Man being a beacon of hope. And I really like that they did that in this movie, where you see how Spider-Man being around people is bringing out the best of the characters, where you see Punisher, or even, spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen it, Jean Grey, or, the Wolf, or some of these other characters that kind of, you see he's bringing out this other side of these people where they're like, you know what, bruh, maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe there is another way.
Yeah.
And I really like that they are leaning into that more again.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this movie was just so amazing, bro. Like, I mean, no pun intended, but but like, I don't know, man. Like watching this movie, to me, this is the best Tom Holland Spider-Man movie that we've gotten.
Can I even go crazier? To me, this might be the best Spider-Man movie I've ever seen.
I think you might be bugging on that.
I low-key... Okay, Spider-Man 2 is still better.
Spider-Man 2 is still better.
What do you think is better than this?
Are we counting the Spider-Verse movies?
Are you kidding me?
The first Spider-Verse movie?
Okay, wait. The first Spider-Verse was cool. But let's slow down a little bit, bro.
I just don't want to have too much recency bias.
Okay, I don't even know if this is recency bias for me, bro. I just really think from a Spider-Man aspect, this is the most Spider-Man thing I think I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Minus the Insomniac games.
Yeah.
I'm just being honest. But if you're talking about as a whole movie, Into the Spider-Verse was better. You feel what I mean?
Story-wise, Into the Spider-Verse is better, but actual Spider-Man stuff, this one takes the cake. Yeah,
1,000%.
Definitely. I mean, there's so much elements in this movie that I just love, like the swinging around, You know what I mean? The fighting, the way he fights in this movie and the way that he uses his gadgets and everything. And like, and this is funny to say, but like we finally got like a broke and depressed Peter
Spider-Man,
Parker.
yeah.
Spider-Man. And there's so many moments in this that like it shows how lonely he is for us. Like, you know, when he's playing with the key of the city, and like even like I love this shot where he's like doing his laundry,
the washing
and he's
machine
sitting next to it, and you see the mask in there just like spinning around.
Yeah.
Like there's so many cool, like the cinematography in this movie is just so dope. Like there's so many cool shots that they show. Like, you know, like they have the first person view when he's swinging around.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a scene from the trailer where you know, you see the inside of his mask when he's falling off the building and stuff like that. Like there's so many dope moments like that in this movie.
That was another element I really liked too, that you said the eyes. I like that with this one, you could almost see his actual eyes through the mask a lot, you know? And I really like that. And oh man, I just want to throw out the glaring one that I am so happy the MCU seems like they might be going down this route. Spider-Man wore his mask like 40 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, for the whole movie.
Bro, I was so juiced, and just the way that they're going back home of, no pun intended, of him having the secret identity.
Yeah.
And I really loved the elements of, like, you know, how he's trying to hide himself from MJ when she's trying to come around. And, you know, even when he's drinking the coffee and Frank's like, man, even when you drink coffee, huh? You don't take the mask off.
Yeah.
I really liked that element because it felt so comic book, and why we even loved the character of the dynamic between trying to balance both worlds. Of, I'm Peter Parker and I'm also Spider-Man. And I think that they nailed it in this movie, bro, with, you know, showing how hard his life is and how sometimes Spider-Man has to make the hard decisions even when Peter Parker doesn't want to.
Yeah, because I mean,
or vice versa.
Yeah, because that was one of our big complaints back in the day, that like in every movie it's like Spider-Man, Black Panther, all these characters who are usually masked up are taking off their mask every chance they get.
Yes.
You know, especially when they started giving everybody nanotech masks, so it was just flying on and off every other word. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, dude, what the hell are we doing in here? And that's why I loved in this one. It was like, even like, you know, he's getting in the jacuzzi with Elena and he still has the mask on and stuff.
That
you know what I
was
mean?
funny as
You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Like,
yeah, that was
and
good.
I love that they do
I like
that where
that.
like he has to keep the secret identity,
Yeah.
like, or else like he's scared that it will mess things up like it did before.
Yeah.
And I'm glad, and I hope that Marvel starts doing more things like this in the future with the other characters who have secret identities. Well, I mean, I guess Spider-Man is like the biggest character with the secret identity, but like, I just love that the fact that it's such an important thing for him now to keep that mask on, so no one knows who he really is for us. You know what I mean? Even him using like like fake names throughout the movie and stuff like that, so people don't know he's Peter Parker and everything. You know, like I just love this movie so much, bro. Like I mean, I just watched it like last night, so it's still like kind of fresh in my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I mean, this movie really blew me away, bro. Like there's so much stuff in this movie that I love, that there's like so many little negatives that I could think about in this movie.
Yeah.
And like even one of the things that I was scared of going into the movie that I think they handled really well and way better than they had in any other Spider-Man movies was the amount of characters that they have in this movie. Like,
oh man,
this movie is
stacked
with characters and other people from other, you know, series and movies and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and I really thought that this movie was gonna have too much, and it was gonna be a Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna feel jumbled. Exactly. I was so afraid of that, especially when I saw the trailers. I was like, oh crap, Punisher's in this, and then allegedly Jean Grey, and then also people are saying Mr. Negative, and then you're seeing Tombstone and
Hulk and all this stuff.
So I'm like, and then Scorpion's a part of the story too, and then there's like this other thing that's going on, and then I'm pretty sure there's another villain. That's what we're all thinking.
Yeah.
So it seemed so jumbled, but when you actually watch it, it definitely has moments where you do go, this does feel like a different movie than this part of the movie. I'm not going to lie. But they weren't, and it's going to sound funny, they weren't either bad. It to me, it almost felt like there were two movies combined it into this, but both movies were good.
Yeah.
If that makes sense to me. Like, you know what I mean? So, but one thing I'll really say is I just liked a lot of the chances that they took with this movie of letting it be campy. Letting it feel comic booky, where it's like, you know, there's so many things that are going on in New York where it's like Frank just so happens to be driving his car and he's you know, get out the way, kid.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing all that stuff, and I really love their dynamic, bro. I'm not even kidding.
So much.
Seeing, and this is just a whole nother thing, seeing Punisher and Spider-Man's dynamic, bro, was so dope to see, and it gives me hope for the Deadpool and Spider-Man movie now.
When they ever interact with each other,
yes.
if they ever end up making that,
Yes,
I think it would be really good, especially if it's still Tom Holland,
dude.
I mean, yeah, that was one of my favorite moments in this entire movie. Punisher and Spider-Man, seeing them interact. And one of my favorite things about this, and one of the things I was kind of scared of, was bringing a character like Punisher into a PG-13 movie. You know what I'm saying? Because he is a very rated R, TV, MA type of character.
Yeah.
And you're bringing him into this world where he can't really do all the stuff that, we've seen him do in the Netflix movies and everything. But, like, it doesn't feel like they watered him down in any way. It literally feels like they grabbed him out of the Netflix's projects and just threw him into this movie. Like they don't limit him in his character. He's still cussing. He's still very violent and still wanting to kill and everything like that. Like they don't water him down at all. And I love that so much about this movie. And I'll say that with all the characters, like with Hulk and Yelena and all the other characters they brought into this movie. It's like no one feels like, okay, now you're in a Spider-Man movie, so you got to act a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Like everyone feels like you just got him out of their projects and you brought him into this world, which is how it was like, in the cartoons and the comics growing up. It's like, characters will make appearances and stuff like that, and they don't feel like they're changed or tweaked to fit in.
I get what you mean. Like if Spider-Man, when he goes into like the X-Men, their show or anything like that, or they come into his show, I get what you mean. They still feel like the X-Men, or Spider-Man still feels like Spider-Man. But one thing I did say, and that's interesting that you brought that up, the point that I said to my brother, I told him, I said, I really liked what they did with Punisher in that scene, but you know what I think they have to do from here on out, even if they are gonna do like the Deadpool and Spider-Man movie or anything in the future, if they're going to do a rated R character with a PG-13 character, I think the better option is to put the PG-13 character in the rated R character's movie, because it almost reminds me of, I don't know if you remember the early Deadpool game. In that game, there's like Wolverine, some of the other X-Men. They all don't cuss. They all don't do whatever. They're all still their characters, but it's just in Deadpool's world where like now he's like slapping Wolverine's butt and stuff, and he's like throwing him over his shoulder. So I think that would definitely work in other projects, but this is one of the rare ones where I was like, wow. Yeah. Where it worked the other way around. You know what I mean? But I think from here on out, that's why I mean if they took a lot of risks that I think were very risky, especially in the current MCU to do.
Yeah, the amount of times that like Punisher was like cussing in this movie, I was like, oh damn, like they're really letting him just go. Like, and he almost slipped in an F word, which I thought was funny that he like webbed his mouth right before he could say it. I thought that was really cool. You know what I mean? And like just the fact that this movie, you could tell that they really cared about this movie, man. Like there are so many homages to the comics and everything. One of my favorite ones was, and this entire video is huge spoilers, but one of my favorite like homages that they made to the comics was Punisher carrying Spider-Man's body into the hospital. Which is like, so obviously from the Civil War comics and everything like that. Yeah, with the Iron Spider suit. But the way they did it in this movie and the way they made it work with the story, like it felt so well, man.
It was so seamless, to be honest.
Yeah, and it was so dope.
I get what you mean. A lot of those things that they did where it was like, yo, this was ripped straight out of the comic hit. But I also like the scenes that almost pay homage to the earlier Spider-Man movies as well. Like the scene where Peter wakes up and he's starting to mutate. Bro, that scene right there was exactly Spider-Man 1. I was like, so I liked it because it was almost as if Peter Parker was reborn again as Spider-Man, so he was getting his new origin story. Yeah,
when he was learning how to use his organic webbing and all that stuff. And it's literally that scene from Spider-Man 1 with Tobey Maguire.
And he references him.
Yeah, he even says, Peter 2 had the webs and he was cool. Yeah. And it's all I got to learn how to do this. Yeah, I thought that was really dope. And yeah, man, I don't know, this movie was just so good, bro.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
There's so many things I thought like, I'm gonna hate this movie, but like they kept on surprising me with certain characters. Like, dude, straight up, bro. Yeah. This is the best Hulk. I think we've seen
in years.
I don't lie.
Ever?
I think it might be the best Hulk we've seen on live action film. I think it might be better than Edward Norton's Hulk.
Oh, Mike, I don't know. Okay.
Bro, how big he got and how angry he got.
He was going crazy. I'm not going to lie. That first shot when Spider-Man started going around the what caught and then he did the what caught? His clap?
Yeah.
Dog, I'm not going to lie. I was sitting there like this, and I really did like that scene because it does show one thing of this. Spider-Man is durable as shit.
Hell yeah. He was taking hits from the Incredible Hulk.
Only thing is, I do wish Spider-Man would have been able to get a couple hits in.
Yeah,
like punches.
Yeah,
because I would have liked that scene where it's like, okay, Spider-Man never gets to go all out.
Yeah.
And I thought that would have hit if we got to see a little bit of that. But
That'd be
I
cool.
digress. I do.
He didn't want to hurt Bruce and everything, you know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that was another element I really didn't think that would mesh really well. And all three themes went well together, where it was Spider-Man's story, Hulk's story, and Jean Grey bringing in the X-Men. It all worked out well because the inhibitor thing that Peter makes,
that's crazy,
right? The thing that he makes, it's so wild that a lot of people don't realize this is what they're going to use in the future.
Yes.
To be controlling the X-Men or mutants in general. So Spider-Man basically created the thing. And this is what I think is super interesting. And it's a little bit crazy. And I just thought about this. Tony Stark was the reason for the whole freaking MCU before, pretty much. Now it's going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And think about why. Spider-Man is pretty much the reason why Jean Grey even goes on her right path in this world. You know, and I really loved the scene with her and Aunt May. I thought that hit so much. Just to throw that out there, that was one of the highlight scenes. But it's almost as if he is restarting the universe in his way, where Tony was a lot of the issues back then. Now it's going to be Spider-Man, where it's like he created this thing that's going to be this huge mutant issue.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, like he has so much to do with what is going on right now.
Yeah,
you know what I'm just trying to say?
Like he's the catalyst of everything that's gonna happen in the future.
Bro.
And it's like you said, like we got the X-Men stuff. The Hulk is now not Professor Hulk anymore. Like he's straight up Savage Hulk now.
Again.
So it's like now we gotta worry about this guy.
Bro.
You know what I mean? And there's so much stuff, and even like they expose like the damage control really be on some weird stuff. So it's like he's literally the catalyst of everything that's gonna come into the MCU.
You feel me? So he's the new thing now. So I think that's really interesting. But yeah, I just think that a lot of the elements where they showed also Peter's genius was really cool. Like when he figures out how far Jean Grey can jump, it's like 33 feet or something like that, and you know, all of those type of factors. I thought that was so cool that like we rarely get to see Spider-Man figure things out like that, you know. And I just really liked those elements, seeing the world building of just how New York in this is a character, and I liked that element as well that we got from the old Sam Raimi movies, where at the end of the movie there was that that shot that was very close to the Spider-Man Day shot in Spider-Man 3, right? Where everybody's celebrating Spider-Man, he gets the key to the city in that scene as well. You know, he kisses Gwen Stacy, does that whole thing. In this scene, it was so dope at the end when he's, you know, Frank helps him get out of the hospital, right? That was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, that scene was such a good and heartfelt scene where, you know, Frank's like almost crying in the hospital. He's like, "Are you crying?"
Yeah.
I thought that hit, and then Frank's like, "Bro, get out of here. You know, I'll help you get out." And he just looks at the city championing him and seeing that everybody wanted to make sure he was okay.
Yeah.
That was the most Spider-Man shit I have seen in so long, and I'm so glad we're seeing a hero just be a hero again.
Yeah, and it's crazy to me because in that scene it shows that, like, I mean, in the movie he says that he's both. He's Peter Parker and he's Spider-Man, but it really shows that when Peter Parker is around, the city hates Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And now that Peter Parker is not around and it's just Spider-Man, everybody loves him so much. You know what I mean? You see all the kids wearing the Spider-Man mask and all this stuff, you know what I mean? And like even in the scene when he saves that little kid in the earlier scene, it reminded me of that that scene from The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield's character when he saves the little boy and everything, you know what I mean? And I already seen people online saying that kid's probably gonna be Miles Morales and all that stuff. And I think it's the same kid at the end who even does the little web things at Tom, you know what I mean? So I just love that, like, this movie, it shows that Spider-Man is New York's hero.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And they referenced him in the Daredevil show too. Yeah. But that was one of my main complaints of the Daredevil show, was like,
oh, we'll get into that. Where's all these
other guys and stuff like that? You know what I'm saying?
We'll get into that after.
That's what I love about this movie. It feels so lived in. Like,
yes.
Like you said, like Punisher just pulls up out of nowhere. You know, we have all these random villains of the week that just pull up, and Spider-Man has to deal with them and all this stuff. And that's why I love so much about this movie. And it feels so much like the comics or the video games or the cartoons or whatever. And they meshed all the stuff from other Spider-Man medias, whether it's, like I said, any other stuff, and they combined it so well in this film, and they balanced it all so well, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think, like I told you, I think that, and I was kind of going to that point. My bad, I kind of lost it. But the idea that they meshed all three of these worlds so well, where it's almost like Spider-Man is going through this mutation the same time that the mutants are coming into the MCU, at the same time that Bruce Banner is dealing with his own mutation. So these three characters that never really cross paths too much in comics, where it's them three, the X-Men, Spider-Man, and Hulk. seeing them three in a story, I think hit for the first time because there is a lot of parallels in their stories where, you know, Spider-Man goes to the school. And I thought that was really dope element where Peter goes and pretends to be like a student in Bruce Banner's classroom.
Yeah.
And, you know, he starts learning about the inhibitor thing and how it works for him. And if you can do it to any type of DNA, not just specific DNA. And he said a universal inhibitor. That's what he wanted to make. And he ends up making a universal inhibitor. But I thought that was so interesting that dynamic between those three, it worked so well. And I think that this was a good start, which I feel like this movie is going to kickstart the MCU, the new one that we're getting, because this was a mutant movie.
Yeah,
as much as anybody wants to call it a Spider-Man movie, this was more to me of a mutant movie. And I seen some people didn't like this, but I personally like that it wasn't a super duper element in this movie that took over the story. I like that it was a side plot or a side element that he was mutating and he was figuring it out as he's dealing with all this other stuff throughout the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because obviously it was there, but I'm saying, notice at the end of the movie, they didn't talk about it anymore.
Yeah,
it's like he figured it out. He's just like, all right, bro, I'm mutating, and it is what it is. And now he just has organic webs and stuff, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. So do you think they're going to go in the future, him just straight organic webs now? No more web shooters?
Yes. Now I think that because of, you know, the audience and everybody was complaining about the Tony Stark Jr. stuff, I think now this is our true Spider-Man. This is what we're getting now.
Yeah, dude, that scene when he's fighting the hand at the end.
Yeah.
And he they break his web shooters and he goes just straight full spider mode.
That was crazy.
Dude, that scene was crazy. Like, this Spider-Man, Tom Holland Spider-Man is the most Spider-Man out of every Spider-Man we've seen.
It used to be Andrew.
He is the most Spider-Man.
He is the most Spider-Man now.
He's literally the best of both worlds. He's the nerdy, loser Peter Parker.
Yes.
And he's also the quippy, agile Spider-Man.
He was quipping like a motherfucker in this.
God, bro, you kidding me?
This was his most quippiest quip he's ever quipped.
I swear to God. Yeah.
I was like, yo.
Yeah, that's why I love this movie so much. And I think obviously Tom Holland loves playing Spider-Man so much, and you could clearly see it through the film too.
Yes.
And that's why I'm saying this might be one of the best Spider-Man movies I've probably ever seen.
Yes, guaranteed.
Obviously, Spider-Man 2 still holds a special place in my heart.
It always does.
Into the Spider-Verse, I still love that movie very much.
Yeah.
But this movie was so Spider-Man. Yeah. That I can't deny that this might be one of the best Spider-Mans that we've seen on screen.
Ever, bro. I think Tom Holland now, bro, it's like whoever is next up after him, you got some huge ass shoes to fill. We thought Toby's shoes was huge.
Oh my God.
You feel me?
Oh my God. I'm not gonna lie, and this might sound crazy. Stop me if you think this is too crazy.
I might have to.
I think Tom Holland is to Spider-Man what Hugh Jackman is to
Wolverine.
Am I crazy for that? Am I crazy for saying that?
I'm gonna be honest with you, brother.
4 movies.
No, can I be honest? Can I be honest?
4 movies of his own movies.
Yes.
He's appeared in every other project.
Yeah.
But dude, I've never seen somebody play Spider-Man this well.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you the truth. I agree with you, and I'm not gonna lie. If y'all kill us for this one, I get it, bro. Look,
I get it. It's crazy to say that.
But I'm gonna go in. Some people are gonna think we have a recency bias.
Yeah.
Right. But I'm gonna be honest with you. You're spitting right now, brother. I'm gonna be honest. The way I've seen Hugh Jackman dive into the role of Wolverine, the way I seen him in the sound booth doing the stuff crazy, for freaking Logan, bro.
Yeah.
This dude, Tom Holland, has given the same vibes with some of the stuff I had to see him do. Like, do you understand that even, the shots where they did they would do the comic book shots where, Scorpion uppercut Spider-Man, he's like this and stuff.
Yeah.
Tom Holland really did those shots.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They showed how, bro, he had to contort his body up, and they would throw him up in this.
That's insane.
Bro, it was so crazy.
He got a concussion making this goddamn movie.
Yeah, we all thought he was dead.
Yeah.
God forbid.
Yeah.
Thank you, God, that we still got Tom Holland out here.
So I'm saying, dude,
bro,
yeah, I think he should play Spider-Man for as long as he needs to, because I know Tom wants to give the role to Miles Morales in the future, which I think would be dope if they do it like that.
Yeah.
And apparently Tom Holland says that he knows when a Miles Morales will be introduced into the MCU. He said he already knows.
Oh, they shouldn't have gave him that information.
Like they already told him, yeah, he's gonna spoil it. But I want to see Tom Holland for another damn near 10 years.
No, I'm going to be honest. We need to give him the Deadpool treatment. We want him to be Spider-Man until he's 90.
I swear to God. I need
Seriously.
it. I need it.
No, you're spitting when you're saying that. I think we need to give him the Hugh Jackman treatment after this. He has solidified himself as Spider-Man. I will literally fight anybody who calls him Spider-Man Jr. anymore.
Yeah.
Bro, it's ugly.
I'm gonna lie. the Spidey debates are over.
It's over.
You know, people were saying like, you know, obviously Toby is the OG, so he's always gonna be the GOAT.
Yeah.
There's no denying that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Andrew Garfield is a good Spider-Man. His suit is amazing.
Yep. Best suit.
After this one, I'm not gonna lie. After this one, I love Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit.
Yeah.
That is one of my favorite Spider-Man suits of all time.
Yes.
This Brand New Day suit
It's comic as
is
hell.
so good.
Yeah, it is.
If the eyes were bigger, I would think it was the best suit. Spider-Man
Me
suit.
too. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. From the concept art that I seen they were going for, I think they did shrink the eyes a little bit.
Yeah.
Bro, the eyes almost took up the whole freaking thing.
Yeah, and you know I love
That's like Ultimate Spider-Man
I
shit.
love Spider-Man with the big
Yes,
old eyes.
yes,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yes. That's
So
the Ultimate
that's
Spider-Man.
why I love Andrew's Spider-Man suit so much from TASM 2.
Yeah.
If this one in Brand New Day, if his eyes were just a little bit bigger, because he still kind of has like the Homecoming vibes,
Yes,
it's like the Shudder
yes,
effect. You know
yes.
what I'm saying? Which I think it's cool for Tom's
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's his suit is very, very good. I think it's damn near better than Andrew's.
It is. I know. Okay, based on an aesthetic aspect, definitely. It looks more comic book to me. Andrews looks like if Spider-Man was in the real world of what we know New York is right now.
Yes. His suit fits very well for his world
Yes.
that he's in.
Yes.
Tom's suit is very much an homage to those two characters
Yes.
and the comics and everything, and Tom Spider-Man also in general.
Yeah.
But I think the whole debate of, you know, who's the best Spider-Man
Is over.
to me is over, bro.
Yeah.
Tom by a mile
Yeah.
or by a kilometer because he's British is definitely the best Spider-Man. I think.
No, 100%. But, brother, I just want to get into a couple things that I didn't like.
Uh-oh.
It's not that much.
Okay, yeah.
But I'll just say this: I'll say the rest of them are all just nitpicks. But there's one glaring one that I feel like this one thing was so close from making this movie perfect. I kind of felt like doing the story over, where everyone forgets Peter and all that stuff, was really dope. But I feel like this movie kind of unraveled everything that we already made in the first or the last movie that we just did. Because in the sense of this, we go over this whole emotional thing of, we gotta lose Ned and MJ. And then we see how sad he is through this movie, right? And I don't think it's a bad thing, to kind of have a rekindle. That's fine. But to me, I felt like it took the weight a little bit of bringing them back, where I think if you would have had them still in elements of the movie, Spider-Man still does whatever, the second movie maybe, he goes and he interacts for the first time, or he kind of starts going out there, because it's like your whole purpose was, you're saying you want to be Spider-Man, you don't want to be around them, but you're still kind of stalking and going to the parties and yada yada, which I understand is very human of a person, but that was a little nitpick for me that I was kind of like, it just doesn't have as much weight when you immediately bring them back in the second movie, and then they're already figuring everything out and knowing that you're Peter again and stuff.
I get what you mean, but that scene of them building Legos together,
it killed me. I'm not gonna lie.
I almost cried.
I did too. I'm not gonna lie.
And at the end of the movie where he goes up and he daps up Ned.
Okay, I wanted to get into that too. No, can I just say this?
No, get into your nitpicks first.
Okay.
Get into that.
Okay. I'll just say this, and I'll go fast, bro. That definitely was one, and I also just didn't really like how they portrayed the Hand a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
It was a little bit weird to me, where I was like, they're just kind of in this office building all the time now.
That was a little weird.
And I get it. Obviously, it was like a bait and switch where they were actually evil still because they're working under the damage control, right? But that was just a terrible way to frame them at first, where you almost made them sound like just lost kids.
Yeah,
I did not like that, because I was like, the Hand?
They're like this whole organization.
I'm like, bro,
they're like some lost, they're like lost souls or something like that.
Yeah, like lost puppies or something.
What the hell are you talking about? Yeah, I didn't like that.
That bothered me a little bit, definitely. And then also, this is one thing that I cannot really have a nitpick for the movie itself. This kind of is more towards the Disney Plus shows. I am sick and tired of these shows doing things where it almost messes up the main timeline. Where, like you just mentioned earlier a little bit, Daredevil, what is this all happening around the time of Spider-Man? Because it's been 4 years. Yeah. And during all that time, where is Kingpin? Because Kingpin knows Spider-Man. Yeah. Spider-Man didn't mention Kingpin at all with all of the stuff that he's dealing with. And he met Daredevil in the other one. And it's like, that bothered me a little bit. It was like, okay, so Daredevil's just not, he doesn't exist. Like, even Punisher didn't mention him.
Well, he's in jail right now.
I know.
Yeah.
But
'cause this takes place after season 2 of Daredevil, I'm assuming.
Okay, if that's what it is.
Because in the scene where he gets the key from the city,
Yeah.
the mayor he gets it from is the girl who was working with Kingpin.
Okay.
So I think this might take place after season 2. So it makes sense that Daredevil's in jail.
Because Kingpin he did go to that island and he left.
Yeah, he left. Yeah.
Apparently he's coming back, but okay, that clears that up a little bit for me.
But I still was a little bit annoyed by that.
You feel me?
I was like, I was more so annoyed throughout the other projects. I'm like, during the whole vigilante stuff, like, why aren't we seeing any of like the task force people webbed up? You know, something like that. Something simple. They could have done something like that, obviously.
With a sign on, bro.
Yeah, something like that. I don't know. I don't really have a lot of nitpicks or things that I hate about this movie. Maybe I'm just blinded by I got blinded by the web, so I don't know. But the only thing I didn't really like about this movie, and this is a very, very small nitpick.
Yeah.
And I understand why they didn't do it, and I love the way they did it in this movie.
Yeah.
And we mentioned it earlier in the video, the montage of him going through all the villains, Tombstone, all this stuff.
Yeah.
I wish we would have had a little bit more time
Fight sequences
with him fighting all these characters and showing him fight all the dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wish we had full-on fight sequences with like Tombstone
at least
or
2
Tarantula
minutes each.
or Boomerang or something. Like that. Yeah. That's my only nitpick with the movie. I understand why they did it the way they did it, and even when I was watching the trailer, I kind of assumed that's all we were gonna get.
Me too.
The shots that we seen from the trailer.
Yeah.
But I do wish we got a little bit more fight scenes with them.
A little bit more dialogue as well, back and forth banter between him and the villains to kind of see what's up.
Yeah, the dialogue we got with him and Tombstone was really cool.
Yeah,
I really did like that. You know what I'm saying? And Tombstone looked amazing.
But, he was, comic accurate as hell.
He looked crazy. But that's what I'm saying. Like, all those villains looked really good.
Yeah,
all of them. Why not show them off a little bit more? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's why I get what you mean. I think that Marvel has a tendency of wasting a lot of the villain of the weeks.
Yeah, because we're probably never going to see those guys ever again.
Because they did the same thing even with Fantastic Four. It's like that big monster from the first comic. They fought him, and it's like, it's just over with. You know, it was like they kind of showed a little bit of it, but it's just like, you know, and I don't know why Marvel has a tendency of doing that, and I think they got to stop playing that game. So I get you. I think that's a valid nitpick. But can I just say the glaring one that everybody is thinking of, and this is the one I said that held the movie from being a perfect movie for me. Jean Grey.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to get into this.
Yeah.
Let me say this. Shout out to Sadie Sink. I think she did a great job actually portraying Jean Grey.
Yeah.
I think the problem is what the script wanted her to do. And let me not say anything bad because the idea they were going for, I see what it is.
Yeah.
I mess with the idea, but I think the execution, they went too far. And I'll explain what I mean. I think doing it in a way where we don't know if Jean is a villain is cool. For the people who don't know who Jean is, whatever, you know, do a couple of things where, you know, she knows that Spider-Man is going to be in situations and save people or whatever. But Jean literally killed a couple people.
Yeah. She straight up
threw that guy into traffic.
Yeah. She definitely killed some people with the tank.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She blew up that building, damage control people inside of it.
Well, one thing I will give her is this. She did wait till everybody got cleared out.
That is true.
I did see that. So that was when I seen people had a misconception. I didn't understand that either until I watched it.
You're right.
You know, I seen a couple clips after.
No, you're right.
But I get what you're saying too, though. There was a lot of those type of scenes where it was like, okay, Jean.
Yeah.
Jean.
How is any of this going to be redeemable? Like, I understand you went through this whole thing, like, with your sister and all this stuff, and, like,
dog.
But you straight up hurt just random people that were just on the street minding their business.
And then, this is one thing that I do like, that it was a little bit homage to Logan. When she did that mind thing, and it controlled almost the whole city, everybody was...
Yeah, that was crazy.
And then you seen Zendaya crying and everything. That was wild.
Yeah.
That was so literally ripped out of Logan, and I love that they did that to kind of show the comparison of her and Charles's power. Dude, that was cool to see how powerful she is. But that was another thing. It's like, dude, do you know how many people died that were running heavy machinery? People that were
crashed into
flying in planes that were right above the thing. Yeah. Bro, a lot of people that were probably working on something on a building. It's like all those people died
because they didn't just stop. They they got jolted.
Yeah, it's not like you're just frozen in midair.
Yeah, no, like it hits you.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So yeah, I think you're right. It's gonna be weird to see her in the future and see her as like a hero now, because it's like you did a lot of messed up stuff in the last time we seen you. So it's like, and it's like even people, because I seen people comparing her like, oh well, Punisher kills people all the time. Punisher doesn't kill innocent people though. Yeah, that's his main thing, that he doesn't kill innocent people.
And even Punisher like is not ever supposed to be looked at as a superhero.
Yeah. Or even like Scarlet Witch, which like she's also that same thing where it's like she's kind of anti-hero sometimes. Yeah. But the only reason why I think I'm cool with this, and this sounds a little bit weird,
I already know where you're going
It's
with this.
because a lot of times,
Yeah.
a lot of the mutant and X-Men characters
Yes.
do start off as villains. Like Rogue started off as a villain.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Mystique is sometimes
Yeah,
a villain. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Like
No.
they kind of, you know what I mean?
Okay, and this is where I'll go into how I still have hope. I'll go into that after. I'm giving my my grievance. I personally just thought that was a little bit of a bad take to start Jean that
Definitely.
level of evil, where it was like
Definitely.
she killed people, she did all this other stuff, and some of the motivation, obviously, it could be a little bit of a plot hole where it's like Jean could have easily just found the right guy, the directive guy,
Yeah.
and mind controlled him to get into the vault.
Yeah. 'Cause
But
to me, what it seems like,
Yeah.
and I know from the original script or whatever, the original plot of this movie,
Yeah.
it was supposed to be a Mr. Negative story from what I heard.
Yeah.
So I feel like they kind of kept those same elements. So I think the moments where we see Jean Grey letting a guy walk into traffic was kept from the original plot when it was Mr. Negative doing stuff like that.
I get what you mean.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah, so they had to probably add more villainous elements to her to make it seem like that. I get what you mean. Definitely to clean up the parts that were taken out. But to be honest with you, that was really my only criticism was what the writers did with her character. I think she acted her
She
ass
went
off.
crazy.
She literally channeled 11 in this.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. She channeled her
Better.
true 11.
Way better than 11.
No, I mean, but it was just dope seeing Sadie Sink be this character because we already have been saying she would be a great Jean Grey for years.
come on now.
So,
And
but
I think she was one of the better actors out of Stranger Things.
oh no, 100%. I already, and it's
We
so
already
funny.
know.
We already theorized that they
Yeah.
were gonna start picking up some of these
Yeah,
kids from Stranger
definitely.
Things
Yeah,
for
yeah.
Marvel projects. But I'll just say this. This is my last point. I really believe that they could definitely redeem this though, and I'll say how. I think that if in the future movies, because obviously, Jean in the comics and stuff, she was a bit of a runaway and she had like, she's bouncing from foster home to foster home. She was a troubled teen. They went a little far, but I do think that they can redeem it where this actually does give the people a reason to not like the X-Men.
Yeah.
Right? Where we might have moments where,
yeah,
because think
yeah,
about it,
yeah,
in the
yeah.
old stuff, it was pretty much just racism.
Yeah, it's just straight up racist.
It's like,
yeah.
ew, they look weird and
Yeah.
they're monsters. That was pretty much what it was. But now there's a legitimate reason. And I think that even goes away from all the woke stuff that everybody talks about with the MCU, that this would be an actual genuine reason that
people
people
won't like- will
wouldn't
be
like
scared,
them.
yeah.
But then there would be that element where there's characters like Spider-Man, whatever, that can come to their defense. Like, well, we can't look at everybody the same because of the actions of some.
Yeah, no,
which would be
you're
a
spinning.
good ass message. And then I think even what would redeem Jean Grey is the government's going to talk about it. She's on the run. They're going to try to find her in the next couple movies or whatever, right? Because they were already dealing with all the stuff they had to deal with in New York. She leaves. But the government starts going after her. People are looking for her like, yeah, we're looking for Jean Grey for what she did in New York. And they're talking about the whole mind thing or whatever. Now that's a big thing in New York that everybody's going to probably remember and talk
Yeah.
about, right? When this person did that. And then I think Charles is going to find her around that
Yeah.
time. And then Jean Grey is going to end up doing the unthinkable because of Charles. She's going to go and say, it's okay. I'm going to turn myself in.
Yeah, that'd be
I
cool.
think she's going to turn herself in. Or no, she turns herself in and then Charles finds her.
That'd be cool.
That's how I think
and
it's
he
gonna
already
be.
has like
Yes.
Scott and
Yes.
Beast and all these other characters on his team.
And I
already.
think he's going to visit her at the place or whatever. Charles is already starting to get the school going. He has a couple of the X-Men that are younger. And then they bring in Jean Grey. And that's the perfect way I think they would redeem her character through
and the X-Men
that.
stuff. Yeah, that would go crazy.
You
But
know?
One more thing. I know that this is a long one, guys. I
Yeah.
know, but yeah, we're big Spider-Man fans, so this has to be a long one.
Yeah.
We got to talk about the end credit scene.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
What do you think that is? And also,
Yeah.
I think MJ and Ned are starting to remember Peter Parker.
Oh, I will even go a step further before the end credit scene. I know Ned remembers Peter Parker.
After
You want to
that
know why?
handshake, After that handshake,
I'll
it
tell
didn't
you why.
unlock- It didn't unlock it for him.
I'll tell you why. Do you remember in the Spider-Man No Way Home, the scene where they're both in the sanctum and, it's like all the snow's around them and stuff. And right before they were getting ready to go and like do whatever they were going to do, they slap each other up. And then at the end, it goes. And then
Yeah.
that was the first time foreshadowing Ned was going to have his powers, right? And they both were like, whoa. They do the exact same thing. In the movie, you don't see the lightning though. But right after he does it, Ned goes, Peter.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, bro, because of his magic, when he touched Peter, because think about it,
yeah.
it's a spell that Doctor Strange did to make everybody forget. Ned has magic.
What if Doctor Strange damn near did like he didn't tell Peter, but
Yeah.
he almost did like when he seen them do the handshake,
He
like
gave
damn
them a
near did, like-
spell.
like a reverse spell.
I was even
that
gonna
if he
say-
does the handshake, it then reverses it.
Why-
that might be
bro,
a little crazy.
No,
that might be a
no,
little
no,
crazy.
Can I tell you?
but-
Can I tell you? Why did I even say this? the spells, you don't have to do it a certain way with your hands.
Yeah.
So I was thinking this. Why, when Ned did it the first time with the handshake, the lightning started? Showing that he did something with powers right there.
Yeah.
So I think even when he did it again with Peter, it unlocked it. That brought back his memory.
Okay.
I think his power brought back his memory.
That's a good ass theory. But I think the real reason why MJ and Ned are starting to remember Peter now is because of Jean Grey. Because when Jean Grey goes into Hulk's mind the first time, he's still Professor Hulk.
Yeah.
And it isn't until Hulk kicks her out because
Yeah.
he's too powerful that Savage Hulk comes out.
Yeah.
So it's like almost she kind of like reversed him.
I get what you're saying.
She like rebooted him.
Yes.
She reset the Hulk
Yeah.
into coming out. Now he's just regular Hulk now.
Yeah.
I think when MJ and Ned were stuck in that little freeze thing.
And she started crying.
I think she started to remember little bits of Peter. That's why at the end she's holding onto her little necklace, the little Black Dahlia necklace. And I think Ned slowly starting to remember too. And then when he shook his hand, because even before Peter leaves, MJ calls him Peter.
Yeah.
And Ned is like, Spider-Man's name is Peter?
Yeah.
So I think
was
it's
crazy.
one of two things. Either when he shook his hand, he realized, holy hell, this is the Peter Spider-Man that was in my apartment.
Yeah.
Or
He
he
remembered.
remembers like Peter. Like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like it's all starting to like click
for
again.
me.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think
That
that's
actually
I think he's
hits.
starting
No, if
to
yours
remember because
of Jean Grey would hit so much because bro, she really be in your cerebral
Yeah,
for real with
damn,
it. You know
yeah,
what I
hell
mean?
yeah.
So no, 100%. I think that Jean Grey is the reason why he remembers. Oh man, bro, that's so good. I mean, it would make sense because I mean, even like the whole scene of her breathing for him and stuff was so good of a
That was tight.
scene.
That was
bro.
tight. That was tight.
You know, but yeah. So I'll just say this though, the end credit scene.
Oh yeah.
Let's just get into that. I will tell you what I theorize.
What do you think?
I'm thinking it's two things for me.
Okay.
Either this is the other Spider-Man, or it could be maybe Toby or one of the other ones.
Toby, Andrew, someone.
Somebody like that. Because you've seen it went off world.
Yeah.
Or it's Miles. Not from our universe, but
From the animated one.
From the animated one. And I'm going to say why. We already seen how much they were trying to show live action stuff. They showed Tom Holland in that movie.
Yeah. And they
Prowler.
showed
Prowler, and they showed
Andrew.
Andrew, you feel me? So come on, bro. I don't know.
And the thing glitches a little bit before he pops up.
Come
You know what
on,
I'm
bro.
saying? So that's a really good
It
thing.
did look like the you feel me?
So
Into
I
the
think-
Spider-Verse glitch.
I think it's one of a couple things too.
Go ahead.
I think what you say might be right.
Yeah.
I think it's either one, Toby or some other character,
Yeah.
their world on some battle world type stuff
Yeah.
got teleported to our world, and that's why he's starting to pick up on it.
Yes.
Or Peter Parker himself, Tom Holland,
Is
got
already-
teleported into battle
Battle World.
something like that. I think it has to do with Doomsday, Secret Wars, all that stuff. That's what I think. I don't know though.
100. I agree with you, bro. I'm not.
The
even
Miles
cap.
one is good though.
No.
I think it might be something that might have.
And you know what's
some
even
weight to it.
crazier that I didn't even peep? I seen that there was something. I don't know if this was in the movie or this was a still shot for promo or something. Tom is like upside down on this thing, and then under the thing, you see two shoe prints that are not his, and it's Miles's. They look like Nikes.
Whoa, I didn't peep that.
Bro, I gotta put it up on the screen.
Yeah.
It is insane. So they're already trying to show this dude a lot, and even in the one of the earlier Spider-Man movies, I don't know if you remember this. At the end credit scene, there's like this thing where it's showing like this painted looking thing of Spider-Man, where it's like going out of his head, and it like shows like the credits or whatever. And every time it's going out of his head, it goes into another one, and it's black with the red lines, and it's Miles. So they kept doing it throughout the movies, and that's also the one where Donald Glover mentions Miles and says, "You know, I got a nephew who lives here," and all that shit. So I promise you, I think that this was Miles.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, but I think you might be right to continue with the stories that we're getting right now, and them also saying Spider-Man will return. I think that we're getting
Battle World
stuff. Yeah, I think you might be right.
Secret War stuff.
Yes.
That's what I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe they just go crazy. Maybe it's Cosmic Spider-Man.
Bro, that would be
That'd be-
insane.
that'd be
I even
crazy.
heard actually, this is like something that I heard is true, that Toby's Spider-Man is actually going to get the comic Iron Spider suit.
That's what I heard too.
That's what I heard.
See, that's why I think it might be Toby, because I heard that in Doomsday
Yep.
or Secret Wars or whatever, that his world gets combined with the OG X-Men universe.
Yes.
And he ends up dying.
Yeah,
in
I
the
heard
fight.
him and Wolverine end up dying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Deadpool makes it out.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see.
what happens.
We'll
But Let us know what you guys think down below. If you guys love the movie, if you guys think Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man or not, let us know down below. Like, comment, subscribe to the channel, and sorry for the long video, guys, but we had to do it, man.
Yeah, hopefully you guys like this one.
Hope you guys like this one, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
See you guys.